All right. So very similar to last night. It was a good team win. I thought it was a great effort by all three phases. There were some individuals that really, stepped up, and but most of all, it was team and guys playing off of each other, and that I thought was important. So I don't really have anything injury wise for you right now. The guys are just kind of getting in here, so I'll be able to get stuff to you later on that. And that's kind of where we stand with that. So I'll leave it with that, and time's yours.
We'll go first to Herbie Teope. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Coach, two questions here for you. First one, assuming they were close, Travis Kelce, Nick Bolton, Lucas Niang, and others, how confident are you that most, if not all, players on the COVID list will make their return this week? And Brad, I'll have the second one.
Yeah, I think, Herbie, I think we have a good shot at that. Well, this thing is so unpredictable. I mean, that's the hard part about it. And so we'll just see how it goes. But if I had to guess, I think they'd probably be back. But let's just see how it goes this week.
Okay, and my second question, Coach, obviously with the changes to the NFL hiring cycle, the last 2 weeks of the season, now teams can reach out. How much do you anticipate some of your staff members will be requested to be interviewed as the season comes to a close?
I'm sure I'll hear from people on that. Eric Bieniemy, Spags has been a head coach and could easily jump in somewhere too. I've hammered the point about Eric Bieniemy, and I just think the world of the guy, and I think he's tremendous. And so anyway, I would imagine, and there are other guys. I mean, there are other guys on the staff. So whatever happens there. But I'm always pulling for guys that if they have an opportunity to be promoted, more power to them. So.
Let's go next to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Andy, a couple things. First, I understand you guys still have a lot to play for with the #1 seed and all that, but you're also in the playoffs right now. And just wanted to know whether there's a balance at this point, whether there's kind of striking a balance for you in trying to win, but also trying to prepare a team for the postseason, or is it just full steam ahead? We're going on. We're trying to beat Cincinnati. And Brad, I'll have a second question as well.
Yeah, so we feel we're not pulling off. I mean, we're going to keep going, and I mean, this is a very important game against a very good football team. So we've got to make sure that we get ourselves prepared for that, and we don't have a cushion there. Like in years past, a couple of the years past, we've had a little bit of a cushion there, but that's not the way it sits this year. So.
Okay, and Jerick McKinnon is eligible to come off IR, I believe. Is he anywhere close to your knowledge? And if not, what do you guys do at running back if Clyde's not going to be available for a little while?
Yeah, so we'll kind of figure that out today, but McKinnon is in a pretty good position physically, and we'll just see how he does. And then we'll see where Clyde's at after we get some of these reports back. So and go from there. I'll get with Veach and Rick and the docs later.
Let's go next to Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Coach, speaking of Brett Veach, Darryl and Derek Gore and Byron Pringle were your stars last night with Kelce and Hill kind of limited there. How do you explain just the knack for finding some of this talent from undrafted free agents from Brett and his personnel staff?
Yeah, listen, I think they do a phenomenal job. One great thing about Brett is he's a good communicator, and he talks to the coaches. He finds out what they need and want and what makes their whatever scheme is that they're working with fit. So I appreciate that. he's been on this, on the side of the coaching side, so he knows the challenges there. And he's able to kind of work that in with the personnel side and the challenges that they have on the personnel side. So, and blend it, and does a good job. He's got a good staff too. So those guys bust their tail to get everything right. I mean, his right hand guy is Borgonzi, and they work hand in hand and attack all the time. So, I mean, you guys have talked to Brett, and you know how he rolls. So he's always keeping his eyes open.
Go next to Todd Lebo. Go ahead, Todd.
Hey, Coach, I've got a couple quick questions here for you. First off, I know you had some coaches that weren't available yesterday. How'd everything go with the staff filling in and taking care of what those guys do during the games?
Yeah, everybody did a good job with that. EB had to cover a lot of bases there, running around, but he did a nice job. And Connor Embry stepped in and helped out with the wide receivers, and EB worked with the running backs and Porter Ellett, and he ran over with the quarterbacks and did that. So it was good. So it worked out well all the way around.
And I know you mentioned this is, ever-changing stuff when you're waiting for COVID protocols and tests and stuff like that. You can't rest, right, thinking anything is done. But do you feel a little bit better today than maybe you felt last Monday with just the overall thing with your players, or can you just not allow yourself to get your guard down at all?
Yeah, you don't want to do that. I mean, you want to go play and play well. I mean, that's what we've got to do. So it's a good football team that we're playing, and we're not going to sit guys and all that. I mean, that's not where we're at. We're not in that position to do that. By the way, Joe Blameyer was in the box. So, I mean, he was here for the wide receivers, but Connor was covering some bases down below with us with the running backs, and he's always down there with the wide receivers. So
We'll go last to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Andy, I know yesterday we asked you a bit about Byron Pringle, but to see him work from the slot yesterday, just what makes him a good option from that part of the field? And then secondly, given the way your defense is played right now, just how encouraged are you, given the fluctuation between guys being in and out, that unit has stayed consistent throughout the winning streak? Yeah,
well, it's good. Let's talk about that first. I mean, that's good. That's a great thing. That they can continuity ends up being important as you go forward, the best you can at this time of the year. And then listen, Pringle, he's big, he's fast, strong. That helps when you play inside there. He's learned it and has taken a lot of pride in learning it, studies it, and he's done a nice job. And the sky's the limit for him. He can even get better than what he's doing right now, but he's playing at a pretty high level.